Good evening. I'd like to call to order the Village of Gurnee Planning and Zoning Board for this Wednesday, November 15th, 2017. Could we have roll call, please?
Bow.
Here.
Garrity.
Here.
McFarland.
Here.
Nordentoff.
Here.
Path.
Here.
Pasak.
Here.
And Sula.
Present. We do have a quorum. If everyone would please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for our meeting that was held back on November 1st. Does anybody have any questions, comments, or changes regarding said minutes? If not, a motion to approve would be in order.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Garrity, second by Mr. Paff. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Nay. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is a minor sign exception for Target located at 6601 Grand Avenue. Lara?
Target, located at 6601 Grand Avenue, is requesting a minor sign exception to allow one wall sign to exceed 200 square feet and to allow an increase to the aggregate sign area from 281 square feet to 307 square feet. The main sign on the northeast elevation of the building, which includes the Target lettering and bullseye logo, is proposed to be 262 square feet in size. The building's east elevation will also have order pickup and CVS pharmacy signs. Although this property is regulated by a planned unit development agreement, the zoning ordinance provides the administrative modification process for amending sign standards in a PUD when the signs are in conformance with the sign code. In this case, the signs are not in conformance with the sign code, but would be in conformance with the sign code if a minor sign exception is approved. The minor sign exception allows an increase in size of wall signs up to 50% for retail and recreational social assembly uses with over 75,000 square feet of gross floor area. A 31% increase to the maximum sign size is requested, as the maximum allowed size is 200 square feet and the proposed sign size is 262 square feet. In addition, a 9% increase to the total sign area is requested, as the maximum total of all wall signs is allowed to be 281 square feet and the total will be 307 square feet. The Planning and Zoning Board is authorized to approve minor sign exceptions if the members find that the number, size, design, and placement of the signs are consistent with the stated purpose of the sign regulations.
Thank you, Clara. I see someone from Target is here to, I know this is awkward, but usually there's a microphone right there. If we, you're going to have to use one of the mics. Yeah, I'm sorry. And I don't have a handheld here. Oh, you got it. Okay. Okay.
I'm pretty awful about talking to microphones. Michaela Schuring with Kimley Horn. We're a civil engineering consultant on behalf of Target here tonight to present the minor sign exception for the proposed Target. I believe you have elevations in your package, and Target is going through a national rebranding exercise where they are upgrading all their signage, adding a certain red metal panels or siding to different stores throughout the U.S. As a way to invest in their existing stores and make sure that the public knows where Target is, which I'm sure that they do, but just as a reinvestment in their existing stores.
Okay. Is there any questions or comments from members of the? Yes, go ahead.
I have a question. In looking at this and looking at the current location, it looks like basically what Target's doing is reversing the colors. So that there used to be the circle, the Target was red, mounted on the buildings, and now you're putting a red background, and all the actual logo is going to white. Is that an accurate statement?
Yes, that's correct. There are certain situations where if the red background wasn't allowed, then they would go back to red lettering. I believe that there was a case in the city of Chicago that they did that specifically, but 9 times out of 10 they are looking to make all of their lettering be the white lettering with some kind of background behind it.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Oh, and one other, I'm sorry,
okay.
Joe. There are also, the way this is shown, it looks like the area around the door is changing material.
Yes, there would be some kind of wood siding around those doors.
So that'll upgrade that a little bit. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Mr.
Good.
Jeff?
I don't have a problem really with the sign on the building, but these signs by the street, we've always had consistent backgrounds to each individual sign. So the same color background, they're switching this to a red. To me, that could open a can of worms that maybe we don't want to get into. Set a precedent for switching out colors on the backgrounds.
I'm trying, I didn't pay attention to the monument sign, but, yeah, I see the picture, but, I mean, we've been using company logos on monument signs, haven't we, Tracy?
It's not the logo, it's because Best Buy uses the logo on theirs, but the background is still this consistent color.
Right.
And I didn't know if that was something that was written into the PUD or what.
It's not. The only thing that written into the PUD is size, height, and square footage
So they all
number.
just conform to that on their own?
They did that initially with the original sign package that was put in 1990,
Gosh, probably 91,
91, 92.
All right.
And as a reminder, we are yea or nay. We don't, this is not a recommendation to the village board. This is either an approval or a not approval. Mr. Norton?
Sure, thank you. I'd like to try to get maybe from staff perspective a little different, or an idea on some history lesson for me, because I wasn't a part of the board during the drafting of all these PUDs that regulate these different projects around this intersection too. We came up with a number of 200 square feet in these PUDs, and I don't know if there was some sort of a ratio or something was used to when that was originally established, because a lot of the other anchors that were indicated in our notes of similar size and scale, let's say like Home Depot or Walmart or Menards, all seem to have still been able to fit their signage within the 200 square feet. So maybe if you can help me out, if there was, how that 200 square feet was arrived at to begin with.
Well, the Target site, the Grand Hunt Center, predates me. That was probably one of the first ones. It set the threshold for anchor signs at 200 square feet and then ramped them down based upon whether the store was a major store or just a shop. That formula was just repeated mostly for all other PUDs going forward, so like Stonebrook, the Menards site, some of the others. So I don't know what the original intent was behind that 200 square feet. I will say that the underlying sign code that we adopted recently also establishes a maximum of 200 square feet. So it's kind of just a threshold that we've had. I think we believe that you could properly identify stores, with 200 square feet unless there was some unique circumstance, and then there is a process in the old ordinance and even in this ordinance for departing from that.
Okay, my question to the Target would then be, is your logo or the Target bullseye and the Target name scalable within your store plans, depending on the size of the store, so that if necessary, keeping everything within the same ratio, could it be scaled down to fit 200 square feet and still work within your plan?
Sure. I mean, ideally, the goal would be to have a little bit larger of signage. What Target is really going towards is using their logo, the bullseye, with a little bit more, I'll call it oomph behind it. For a lot of their stores, sometimes they only have that logo, which is why I think it's a little bit larger in this case. There are stores that it is scalable too. I believe that the order pickup is also a brand new sign, which is something that Target is doing as part of the e-commerce initiative, so that patrons can order online and pick up in store. So that sign, as well as the CVS pharmacy, are usually a pretty set size, but if not approved tonight, we could always go back and ask them to reduce that size of the logo.
I just brought that up because it just seems as though most everyone else has been able to work within the parameters that have been long established within similar size anchor type projects, maybe with one exception of Jewel, and I don't know why that fell off the chart, but everyone else seemed to be able to fit in. So
Let me
Just
offer,
curious.
let me offer a little additional perspective, because I do think there is a uniqueness to the Target site in that the Target building is on a diagonal. So it is a little bit farther away from the street in some regards. And it's more shielded than some of the other stores too, because you've got Wendy's, you've got TGF Fridays, and you've got that other little building with the, and the bank, but the other building with the Panera, the jewelry store, and so.
In between.
Yeah, so I mean, there is, I think there is an element of uniqueness in this particular case.
And I see that.
Yeah.
I just scratched my head and just wanted to at least have it out on the table as to maybe perhaps what the compelling reason is, other than just, well, we just like to have it that size.
Right,
you know?
and yeah, I wasn't on the commission at the time when Grand Hunt was envisioned, but my perspective, I do go back quite a ways, is that there was a philosophy of trying to be tight and loosen up if we needed to. And the fact that, by definition, this is a minor sign exception, I think it gives recognition to the fact that, there is a little wiggle room in there.
Right, well, and I also do appreciate the fact that they are investing and they are giving it,
absolutely.
it's not just asking for a new sign, and it is an entire facade
Exactly.
upgrade, so, I do count that too.
Okay,
So,
okay.
I just had it out there.
And I wasn't ignoring you.
No, I know.
Dick, go ahead.
Quick question, and maybe Terry can help me out here. The red background is included in the total square footage that we're measuring, correct?
No,
It is not?
No.
Okay, all right,
1,500 square feet.
okay. So that would be too big, slightly.
Yes,
My question is, are we taking the aggregate of all the signs together to come up with the 200 square feet?
to come up with the 200.
no, the 262 or whatever is just the Target and the Bullseye. The 300,
Well, it's 307 is the total aggregate square
307
feet.
includes the
Order pickup?
order pickup, and the CVS pharmacy.
So this gives some perspective from my standpoint is, there's many villages right now. There's Romeoville and Matson just were announced that they were losing their Target stores. I think it's great that Target is, they're closing them in those two villages for Target to invest in our community and also engaged in e-commerce, which is the wave of the future for, or what the wave of the future some of these retailers feel like. And I think by driving those sales, what I like is, they're driving those sales into the store through the e-commerce. I think that it's right on, and I think we just need to support them, just from my perspective. But again, that was just my thoughts, not a question.
Yes, Josh.
Yeah.
Just a minor question. The red sign is, what material is that going to be behind the Target?
They are red metal panels,
Okay,
and they would be fastened to the existing exterior.
okay. And then, I think my other question was answered with the count of the signs. The 200 is square foot just of the Bullseye and the Target, got it.
Okay, good. And the element of CVS taking over the pharmacy kind of adds a little bit of extra signage there too.
The CVS pharmacy sign is existing right now.
No, what I'm trying to say is when Target was first built, Target had its own
Correct.
in-house pharmacy, and when CVS came and took over, that created the need for the CVS logo too. So that put a little more pressure on the signage.
I understand.
Okay, I was helping. Any other questions, comments? As I indicated, it is considered a minor sign amendment or exception. So our body has the decision-making responsibility here.
Can I make a motion to approve as written?
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Paff. Any questions or comments on the motion? If not, roll call, please.
Bow? Yes. Garrity?
Aye.
McFarland?
Aye.
Nordentoff?
Aye.
Path?
Aye.
Pasak?
Aye.
And Sula?
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for investing, and Tracy and Clara will help you through the rest of the process. Next meeting on the calendar is scheduled for December 6th. Do we have anything at this point in time?
Claire?
Yes, we are in the process of advertising for a possible rezoning.
Okay.
So, they would come to us before going to the village board.
Okay, okay. All right, and I thank staff for moving public comment to the end. I see there's no one from the public, so we'll close the item on that one. Motion to adjourn will be in order.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, and I think Mr. Bow said it first.